They say hindsight is 2020, and when stacking silver and gold, the art of looking back can make you more money. Often we become so focused on stacking and the next purchase that we don't pause and reflect on the previous silver and gold purchases to see what we can learn. So this video is about what I've learned, and hopefully you can learn from me stacking 1,000 ounces of silver in 2021. I remember my first purchase like it was yesterday. It was all a dream. I used to read I mean, more than 15 years ago, I walked into Golden Coins and Jewelry in La Habra, California, and bought my first piece of precious metals. It was a 100-ounce silver bar for $1,081, and I could instantly feel the difference. Something changed. The weight, the history of the silver and gold, and my attainment meant something special. So maybe I was a little like Notorious B.I.G., starting my journey from my childhood of poverty to where I experienced hunger, not having enough, watching my single mother constantly struggle to pay bills, to a life much fuller, a dream worth having. That piece of precious metal meant something very different to me. So I continued to add coins and more bars, and I remember one friend joking that I was acting like a pirate with my treasure chest of metals. As a result, over the years, I was lucky enough to learn so much about investing in money through tremendous gains and heartbreaking losses. I learned. I found out the hard way that you're not as smart as you think when you make money, and you quickly find out how dumb you are when you lose money. Through it all, one lesson remains supreme over all of them. You have more time than money, so you should invest your time first. And the investment in your education is the best investment you'll ever make and will pay the greatest dividends. When it comes to your investing education, you always pay a tuition, but you get to determine how you make that payment. Typically, you either pay in the currency of time or in the currency of market losses. Some of you know that I logged every single transaction in great detail. And a few days ago, after I made my first purchase in exactly 4 months, to the day 4 months, I went to log the transaction and I started to look through my numbers, and a number of lessons just jumped right out of the screen and just hit me in the face. So let me share what jumped out at me in hopes of sharing my takeaways and lessons that you can take away from it as well. First lesson, goal setting. I was amazed to see that my original goal for the year was 300 ounces. And then when I met that goal, I remember how I upped it to 500 ounces. And I thought there was no way that I would reach that goal. And then I upped it to 750, and then ultimately to 1,000 ounces. I'm 100% certain that if I had not set a goal and pushed myself, I would have never made it to the 1,000 ounces. Number two, premiums are more important than spot price. I know that sounds crazy, but in this wacky game, premium is the only thing you can control, and it is a wasted expense. While I purchased all across the price range in 2021, focusing on premiums made the biggest investment difference in making sure that I got the most metal for my money. And two numbers really drove this point home: that my cost average was $25.43, and my average premium was 7.5%. My average premium was $1.90 per ounce. The next 3 points I'm going to share really drive home how I was able to get my price so low. Finding private or distressed sellers makes a huge difference. 152.15 ounces were from private sellers, and those were all at spot, which was around $23. Fourth thing that came out, buying what people want to sell. One of the benefits of me being cheap is that I don't really care about the look, the mint, etc. I care about the metal and my cost. In one of my videos, I shared a tactic I use when I go to my coin shop. I say, what are you trying to get rid of today? There's a whole psychology behind this, but as I look at my purchases, it clearly works because I have a number of LCS purchases where I bought it for spot or slightly over. For example, I picked up 30 plus ounces of Canadian junk silver because they just wanted to move it. Looking through my sheet, I have other examples of where I purchased commemorative coins at coin shows below spot, simply because it was at the end of the last day and the seller wanted just to get rid of it. I've shared this tip in another video, and yes, it really does work. The next key point, not grabbing fallen knives. I've already started enough drama talking about dollar cost averaging and talking bad about it, and some of y'all were kind of offended, but I will say that there is tremendous value in watching the market, keeping dry powder, and taking shots at the right time. That was clear as I noticed that a large majority of my big, heavy purchases were made in the second half of the year. 6, sniffing out deals. In my last video, I shared how I purchased a 2022 Gold Britannia for $32 over spot, which was a 1.8% premium. That deal was out there for everyone to see. I don't know how many people did, but I jumped on it. And my log shows a number of transactions where I got tremendous deals just like that. Patience, discipline, and waiting for sales. The discipline was clear when looking at my sheet. When I look at the premiums and the patience that came in the form of waiting for the right premium to buy. For example, how many of you purchased the JM Bullion 10-year anniversary coin that was $1.29 over spot? Well, I did. And while I didn't back up the truck, I definitely opened up the hatch to this SUV. 8, y'all already know that I like big bars and I cannot lie. Those coins with premiums are way too high. Okay, enough of me rapping again. Following that same model, buy what people are willing to sell for cheap. And for the last 2 years, it's been kilos all day long. So while everyone is looking at those pretty little rounds and government minted coins, I was getting my weight up at $1.99 per ounce over spot, and even sometimes lower. Fast forward to 2022, and now everyone's talking about how kilos are the best deal. Kilos have been the best deal for a long time. Number 9, silver is a fickle temptress. While I believe in silver, my belief in silver is a long-term play, not a moonshot. Meaning its real value won't be actualized for 10 or 20 years, in my opinion. So in the meantime, it's about it being a great store for some extra cash. And number 10, enough. Over time, I have collected enough silver. And while its price point and potential, by the way, potential is a French word for you ain't done yet. Silver has all the potential in the world, but it does need to show and prove a little here. Silver is a great way to build a wonderful base for precious metals. And after that, I think you have to move on to gold and platinum and other metals for their stability and consistent growth. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-silver at all. As I take a moment to channel my inner Biggie and the song Juicy reminds us that a dream without a plan is just an hallucination. And as the hook to Juicy goes, you know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you down. Reach for the stars. You had a goal, but not that many, because you're the only one. I give you good and plenty. So as we embark on the second half of 2022, in the comment section, I want you to set and share a stacking goal for the last half of this year. I know it sounds crazy, but remember, in the book, The Secret, it teaches us about the law of attraction, that the most important thing is about thinking about what you want, believing and receiving. And one of the ways that you truly make that happen and manifest it is by writing things down. So again, in the comments, write down a goal. Don't be shy. Put it out there for the world and the universe so that you can attract it. If you're a little uncomfortable with that, then simply type dream big in the comments to start the attraction. Like the Notorious B.I.G., it was all a dream. Notice he did not say it is all a dream or I'm still dreaming. It was past tense a dream. So let's dream big and attract all the wonderful and beautiful things this world has to offer us and give us. At the start of 2021, I would have never dreamt that 1,000 ounces was possible. But now I know that I am my most limiting factor. You know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you down. Reach for the stars. Let's go, people. Get in the comments and start attracting what you want. You are already my A+ students. Always stack smarter and never stop learning.